However, the man you can't say that about, and I'm probably going to be really, really harsh on this man here, so I apologise if anyone thinks that. But Johan Wissa, it felt like somebody. He spearheaded the attack, but it felt like somebody forgot to attach the tip, and we've just been left with the stick. He did absolutely nothing good for me in that first half, outside from that run in the first 4 minutes. But yeah, I'm not gonna sway things by ranting early. What did you make of his performance, Ian?
Well, I think I read, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I read that he touched the ball 9 times. He had 9 touches in the game. Um, the first of which was to put the bloody thing over the bar when he should have scored, should have buried that.
Yeah,
So maybe that affects his confidence. Um, and trying to see the good and the hope for the future. He got up really well for a short ass to put a really good header that most goalkeepers would have been beaten by. Trafford made an amazing fingertip onto the bar save from his header in
true.
the second half. Um, he is a threat. You can see the defence too. There's two Man City defenders tied up watching him the whole of the time. Not that we had anybody who could particularly exploit that. He is coming back from 3 months out, and what's that? His third start.
Yeah,
I just think give Wissa time. He has scored twice. He's done his little sort of centre forward sniffing him out from the goal line. Uh, he's a bit rusty. That's all I would say. That's why a ball went over the bar. Um, but we've just got to we keep the faith. We saw him last year. We saw him score at St James's Park for Brentford last year. He's
yeah,
a great centre forward. It just what again, it wasn't his day, and we're
yeah. I
still
think
learning how to get him free. There was a fabulous ball when he did his Isak like turn on the halfway line and could just play a ball inside the fullback for Gordon to be clean through. Terribly overhit the pass. I think it went out for a goal kick. So
yeah,
far in front of Gordon, he didn't even bother running after it, which was a shame because it did look like that one-touch stuff that we used to be so good at was coming back. But
it was a
yeah,
great move, wasn't it?
give him time. We can't really give him any more than 5 for his performance last night, but I
Yeah.
have faith and hope that Wissa will start being a very good focal point for us up front.
Yeah, I agree with that last point, and I want to say that before I go into what is going to be a bit of a rant. And for me, he had an absolute shocker. When you play Manchester City, you need your strikers to be clinical and active. Now, I can forgive not being clinical if you're active, but for me, there's one moment in that first half in particular that's unforgivable. Jacob Ramsey pressing high, Anthony Gordon, I think, as well. We've got two players pressing. Johan Wissa's there. You're expecting him to maybe cut out any passes. Jacob Ramsey's pressing. I think it's Max Align. It goes back. Jacob Ramsey turns around and Johan Wissa's just stood there, and Ramsey literally has to gesture to get him the fuck out the way. And for me, if you're not going to contribute to that press, and players that literally have to ask you to move out the way, for me, I can't forgive that. And as Wissa wouldn't close down, that same move led to City getting the ball out of the right hand side and breaking our press pretty easily. I can forgive a poor performance, I can forgive missed chances, but I can't forgive seeing a player lack effort. And that is what I
Is
saw
that
at
the
times.
is that the move where Bernardo Silva picks it up really late really deep in the right back position and runs almost across the edge of the his own 18-yard line to come over
Yes.
and lay it off on the right hand side?
Yeah, you're
Um,
exactly right.
because Howe was screaming at Wissa about not pressing on that attack,
Yeah.
if that's the same one.
I'd seen
But
a
yeah,
lot
I
of
mean, we
people
didn't
saying
know
it was aimed at
how.
Ramsey. Yeah, it was Wissa.
Yeah, Wissa was getting it in the neck of Howe. But like I say, he's coming back. If that's his third or his fourth run out from 3 months off. We just have to look at how Botman's improved on his first, second, third, and fourth run outs from his time off, in the hope that Wissa will come good sooner rather than later. Maybe an afternoon against Wolves is the sort of medicine that he needs to have.
We can
Um,
hope. Yeah,
yeah,
you gave him a
well,
5. I gave him a 4, and to be honest, the only reason I'm happy to go to 4.5 is because of the looping header, as you say, produced a great save from James Trafford. But even then, I was sitting there thinking that was the best thing he did. We were listening to the commentary while talking to the chat, and they're literally saying at half time, the only reason Trafford's actually got a chance with it is because it hits Wissa on the top of the head. He actually misjudges. It hits him on the top of the head and loops. They were saying if
mm,
I think it was Les Ferdinand saying if he actually connects with it, the direction it's going, Trafford wouldn't have a chance. And I'm sitting there going, well, that's the one thing I thought he did well, and apparently that wasn't even very good. But I'm not letting that judge me. I think
well, I'm sure
I'm in
Wissa would have
agreement.
buried it if he was as tall as Les Ferdinand, but he's not. He's five
Probably
foot eight
true.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, Les Ferdinand certainly knows more about football than I do. But I'm happy to give him a 4.5. As I say, pundits didn't seem to reckon it was a good effort. I thought it was, but it was a very poor performance in Hull from the new lad. And
Agreed.
yeah, it's I'll whack in a 4.5. I had him down as a -10 at the start, so it's the biggest improvement I've seen in a little while. But I'm pretty angry with him, to be honest. But on the subs who, yeah, probably are going to get some of the lower ratings because I don't think any of them really impacted the game. Maybe Tonali, but we'll start in with Harvey